people are joining. We'll just wait for another minute. There are many people in line, so we'll just wait for a minute.
We have to make Muthusweta as a co-host because she is also one of the speakers. Muthusweta.
World Science Day. Okay, I'll just repeat the first sentence. We all are gathered here to celebrate the World Science Day for Peace and Development. World Science Day was created by UNESCO in 2001. It is celebrated on 10th of November across the world. It aims to keep people aware of emerging scientific issues such as artificial intelligence, renewable energy. It also aims to highlight the relevance of science to how we save our lives and the use of technology that surrounds us to inspire people to participate in scientific activities. Open Science seeks to make scientific information, knowledge, and data available to all by increasing access to information. It aims to give all scientists, innovators, engineers, entrepreneurs, and citizens the opportunity to observe, contribute, and create knowledge in the field of science, technology, and innovation. Not only does this approach boost the transparency and accountability, it helps create equal opportunities for all by encouraging engagement with scientific culture. 2021 theme, Building Climate-Ready Communities. UNESCO has set out 4 key objectives for World Science Day. Strengthen public awareness on the role of science for peace and sustainable society. Promote national and international solidarity for shared science between countries. Renew national and international committee for the use of science for the benefit of society. Draw attention to the challenges faced by science and raise support for scientific endeavors. I take this opportunity to introduce our first speaker for the evening, Dr. Surendra Das. Dr. Surendra Das is an educationist, pranic symbologist, wellness guide, and holistic development coach, an entrepreneur, author, and poet. He is in the field of education for more than 4 decades and has worked as the principal for more than 28 years in some of the reputed schools in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Uttar Pradesh. He has also worked as director of Swami Vivekananda International School, 7i World School Gwalior, and director quality assurance of an education foundation in Kanpur. Presently, he is the director of EduVrata LLP. He is the chief mentor of the Global Wellness Forum, which has members for more than 30 countries, and founder president of Indian Forum of Educators. He is the founder of a new discipline called Pranic Symbology, the only pranic symbologist in the world. He has received several awards, which includes the Eminent Education Award, Arc of Excellence Award, Outstanding Humanitarian Service Award, Pioneer of Wellness Education Award, and Influencer Award 2021. So over to Dr. Das. I guess Dr. Das has some connectivity issue. He is rejoining us.
I'm joining through my mobile. Can you see me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
we
we
can.
see you, Dr. Das.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
we are
fine.
able to see.
Okay, that's fine. My voice is audible?
Yes, Doctor.
So I'm actually, my laptop screen is not visible. I do not know what actually happened. Even I cannot log out.
It's technology, yeah.
Some some issue has occurred. But you can see me and listen, isn't it?
We are able to hear you, Doctor.
What this just happened actually, this position. I want to.
Ma'am, I have doubt.
Shall we do one thing? We move on to the next speaker and so that he can get some time to join back. Dr. Ramanathan, are you ready? Shall I introduce you?
Yes, I am okay. Whether Dr. Das.
I guess he's not here right now. There's some connectivity issue. So until then, I guess we'll march forward with you.
Okay.
So let me introduce you to our next speaker, that is Dr. Ramanathan. I'm totally floored by his profile. Allow me to share his worldwide rich contribution. Dr. Ramanathan is the founder and managing director of International Private Limited, Singapore. Pardon, somebody.
Hello, ma'am, I
interrupted in
have
between?
doubt. Please translate in Punjabi. My English
Am I
is very
audible?
low.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have doubt. No English.
Mr.
I
Anmol,
speak
we are not
Punjabi.
able to hear you properly.
I am from Khalistan.
Mr. Anmol, we are not able to hear you properly. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Sweta, am I audible?
You are audible. You are audible.
Yeah, sorry for interruption. So I was talking about Dr. Ramanathan. He is the founder and managing director of AC International Private Limited, Singapore, Director of Business Development and Expansion, Global Commercial Connect Private Limited, Singapore. He is the member in Adult Education Network, Institute of Adult Learning, Singapore, board member, KIBOS International Health Foundation, Canada, President, Guild of International Speaker and Trainer, Singapore, Secretary, Tamil Pattimandra Kalai Kazgam, Singapore, President, Vanigam, Singapore, Subscribers, Global Business Connect, Singapore, Vice President, Chitrai, Far East Organization, Global Commercial Connect, Singapore, Vice Chairperson, Parent Support Group, Tangling Secondary School, Singapore. Associate Member, Singapore Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Singapore. Co-founder, Organization for Professional and Entrepreneur Network, Singapore. He's also the co-founder of ARR Voice, Singapore. Co-founder, Individual Human Being, World Record, India. Member in International Association of Innovation Professional. Life member in Science and Technical Research Association, Eurasia Research. Life member in Abdul Kalam Visionary Society, Singapore. Life member in National Foundation for Entrepreneurship Development, India. Life membership in Bharatidasan University Alumni Association, India. He has more than 20 years of experience in research and development, learning and development, and business and development sectors. His research working experience includes biological STEM-based research and development in basic and clinical medicinal area in a number of leading institutes across the globe. His research expertise are related to immunocontraceptive vaccine development, antibiotic production, proteomics, glycoimmunochemistry, genotoxicity, DNA damage and repair, anti-cancer drug development, free radical biology, medicine and cell signaling pathway, stem cell research and application. During his career, he has
Hello.
published many
Hello. How are you,
peer-reviewed
ma'am?
articles. Provided, I request everyone to please mute yourself. Thank you so much. Also, has provided lead talks in seminar and conferences, acted as mentor for research products, and received several awards to his academic
Hello,
and
my
research
name is
credit.
Gurjot.
His current research
from-
and business.
Hello, my name is Gurjot Singh Bhatt
I request you
from
to stay on mute.
Singapore,
Thank you.
and I have
well-
failed 10th class and
Welcome. I
plus 2
request
class
you
I have
to
failed
please
just now.
speak only. I'm sorry. Okay. His current research and business areas of interest are lead drug discovery and development, pharmacological screening, and natural and synthetic products for preclinic and clinical trial. He is also passionate to conduct motivational talks, capability building workshops, training, coaching, and research product mentorship. He's active in LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and few other social media platforms. So over to Dr. Ramanathan.
Good evening, all. It is wonderful time for me to come and join with you today. It's my pleasure and honor to be invited as a eminent speaker for this World of Science Day to talk about the climate change and other aspects. Really, it is the important topic as of now. World is looking for opportunities to mitigate with the challenges, especially for the mankind who induced a lot of challenges for the climate change. So we are here to just little bit speak about that. I would like to start to share my slides. Thank you for the wonderful introduction by Teresa Rodriguez. Can you able to see the slides?
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
So my today topic is strategies and factors for building climate ready communities. We have to think about how to mitigate with the challenges which are induced by the domestic as well as industrial purpose of making the pollution, making the calamities, making the kind of inactiveness for mitigating with the climate change, how to manage as of now. We have to share the eco mind, that is environment concern mind. How do we able to make the conditions to come together and do the wonderful things for controlling the climate change, which are not going to be worst factor for us. So all of us are having some kind of concern today. How do we able to manage all these circumstances? Myself, Dr. B. Ramanathan, I am the founder and managing director of ACE International Private Limited, Singapore. Our company is committing to provide certain kind of support for the research, experimentation, technology procurements. How do we able to use the digital sources as well as the transformational requirements as of now? How to go green or making us to nurture with the nature kind of things. So we are very much concerning about the global warming, the greenhouse effect. How do we able to manage all these things because of the calamities happen, the natural calamities, otherwise Otherwise, the artificial kind of engagements and enablements in the sources, in the urbanization, as well as the domestic purpose or industrial purpose, we are exploiting a lot of environmental conditions. So we need to be concerned about all these factors, how to mitigate, how to overcome with these kind of problems. Sun is exhibiting its own natural source, providing the solar radiation, which are giving the life for the earth. We cannot able to forget about that. But there are certain kind of deviations from the earth, that is due to the pollution, which are eradicating the ozone layer, making the hole. So it is passing on certain kind of UV radiation. That's why the global warming is happened. So we have to think about how to manage these kind of radiations not to be getting affected for the Mother Earth. There are so many books, articles, and reviews, literatures, as well as so many research outcomes are coming out. But we have to think, how do we able to penetrate in deeper sense? How do we able to engage our activities to concern about all these findings, which are pointing out certain kind of ways, how to improve the global conditions as of now. So we must, hello. So all these things are putting up certain kind of values for us. How do we able to procure all these valuable kind of informations from the book sources or some kind of articles or research outcomes? And then the government is also considering certain kind of knowledge sharing through conducting global conferences as well as meetings. So we must need to embrace all these things. In addition to that, there are many surveys conducted by different firms and different agencies, especially this global survey. Chinese are most concerned about the favor of action on climate change. When listed out with the European country as well as Asia Pacific countries, they are the least bother kind of things, not having much serious concern for the global considerations. And another way, the new global survey, the climatic change is getting alarmed, and we have to find certain kind of promising trends. How do we able to use the concern about climatic change harming the personal aspects? So there are many countries who are concerning about the serious problem, moderate problem, or very much concerned problem. So we must need to endorse all these kind of review data. How do we able to work on it, and how to reduce the condition of betterment, or increase the condition of betterment, reduce the condition of severities. Singapore, as of now, they are vouching for the global concern, and they are making themselves for conducting various kind of programs. In National University of Singapore, they are conducting youth to be taken the action for any kind of climatic change. How do they able to mitigate? How do they able to work on it? How do they able to perform with the different groups or different conditions? So they are continuously conducting regular programs and discussion forums. And Singapore Minister Masagos also mentions the area of success. How do we able to engage certain kind of activities that is going to improve the climatic change, not to be getting affected for the global concern. Singapore is also intended for the national kind of contributions to transform from the earlier conditions to the new conditions. So 36% of reductions are reducing the emissions from the industrial concerns. So these are all the activities they are making, and they are pointing out for the power generation, green building formations, and domestic household activities and industrial values, which are not going to produce more carbon dioxide into the environment, and transportation, because vehicles are also emitting a lot of carbon dioxide. So they are concerning about that, and they are planning to reduce the vehicles which are using the fossil fuel. So these are all the things making the race against our climate change that is going to impact to Singapore in future. So we must need to think, how do we able to use the talents or workforces? How do we able to arrange it together to protect our Singapore coastal lines? They are working on it. They are very much concerned about their natural environment in the small tiny island. Singapore also planning a lot for the climatic factors when it is hitting by major rainfalls. So the flood will not affect the routine life of the Singapore country as well as the people life. So they are making all these kind of steps towards the climatic change. And the next wave of Singapore is making the green building movement. So it is also a part of the concern for reducing the global warming scenario. And National Climate Change Secretariat, that is the another body. It is also giving its concern for the greenhouse, how to design and communicate better. That is the way it is acting towards with the climate action kind of activities. So they have published the climate action plan booklets. These are all the things are helping the people to get some kind of guidance, get some kind of report analysis, which are very much essential for them, how to use the conditions as of now in an effective way. That is the conditions we must need to endorse for our use.
Please tell me
How do we
something.
able to project the value for the global sustainability? That is also a crisis as of now, because of the deviation from the sustainability also going to affect a lot in the lifestyle as well as life empowerment strategies in future. So we must need to think how to conduct many events which are pointing towards with the climate change effects or some kind of agreements between the mutual agreement between the countries. So these are all the things are calling for different action oriented stakeholders to come together, and they can able to point out certain kind of actions, especially from the government side or any kind of private sectors or any public kind of concern. We must need to endorse how do we able to engage certain kind of activities which
Please tell me
not getting
English.
affected by the people or the environment kind of things. So the climate change is the global concern, but Singapore is also putting their own effort to continue to sustain in the global green effects kind of thing. So lot of changes in Singapore climate, or they are looking for the opportunity to reduce the indoor temperature, how to the house, how to control in the natural environment. They are making more trees. They are planning to plantation for 1 million trees in coming years. That is the another agenda they are planning, and they are reducing the industrial kind of carbon emissions. That is also another point of view. So they are reducing a lot of pollution emittance from different kind of equipments or vehicles or any kind of producing their pollution producing kind of elements. So they are taking the vote and they wanted to control all these things put together. Climate change is a kind of scenario, but Singapore is a kind of model I wanted to showcase for you people because we are living here for the longer time, more than 2 decades. So we are able to concern about the condition as of now, a kind of modern city, the smart city kind of nature environment. How do we able to manage? So Singapore is already attained the smart nation kind of quality. So they are very much concerning about the zero waste lifestyle. They use the 3R principle: reduce, recycle, and reuse. So that is also a kind of way you can able to minimize the eradication of the natural environment, also making a lot of pollutions due to the kind of exploitations. And we have to consider the water usage as well as power usage, the electricity power. So we must think about all these kind of conditions we can able to use in our township where we wanted to build the smart city kind of establishments, and also reducing the vehicles which are using the fossil fuel. Singapore MRT system entirely depending with the kind of power source, electricity, and the other vehicles also planning to bring on the road.
सर भाई मातृभाषा हिंदी में समझाइए.
The electric vehicles also they are planning to bring on the road for personal as well as public usage. So these are all the things are making the kind of responsible oriented actions plan. Green Plan, Singapore already making the city in nature because it is very vibrant and very greenish. They are planting a lot of plants around with the domestic areas. Because of the conditions, they are planning to make the rooftop gardens because they need to embrace the opportunity wherever it is possible. The high-rise building cannot be getting left out with the greenery scenario or green nature. So that is the way the sustainable living atmospheres they are ensuring. Another way, they're building a low carbon future. So Singapore is ideally planning to prepare the solar energy to be used for the next period of time. They are planning to vouch for 30% of solar energy power productions to replace with that. current thermal power plant or other sources. So that is the way they can able to minimize the carbon emission from the thermal plant. We have to think about how could we can able to make the action for green towns. Already I pointed out Smart Nation Environment. They are planning for the zero waste, energy efficiency kind of activities and the greener towns by 2025. This is the way we have to think for our places, especially India. They are planning for 100 smart cities. So we have to think about how do we segmentize the leadership quality. We have to create more leadership kind of personality who can come and serve better for the green environment and participating with the different stakeholders. That is also very essential. Institutions, industries, or any kind of social enterprises, along with the government bodies, we can able to prepare certain kind of that is also producing a lot of support for the people who can able to come and participate together and the infrastructure. Especially we need to plan for some green energy kind of buildings where we can reduce the power supply to use or some kind of other sources to exploit. So the infrastructures must go with the natural kind of resources or support. That is the another concern. Now, this is the time for the climate action. We have to form many schools. According to the conditions, the children are the naive-minded people. So they can able to produce a lot of support in future. So we must need to educate them, engage them for
जी एक मिनट
climate action plans. So it is the time for us to plan for some climatic action-oriented schools. This is another case study example, the importance of climate change education. The key factors for the educational platforms we must need to put together. That is the way only we can able to engage them, equip them. So whatever the way the science or technology or any kind of new generation kind of inventions or innovations, we must need to endorse for the global education plan that is also pointing out towards the climate change kind of concern. So it is all important kind of attitude we have to develop among the children who are looking for the opportunity to penetrate into the climate change kind of tasks. So that is the policy we have to derive. We must need to engage along with the school activities together. Singapore is already planning to provide the certification for the carbon emissions. So carbon bonding certificate. So it is the way the country is lifting up the quality for the rest of the world. The CO2 offset, one CO2 offset is equal to 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide reductions. Carbon emissions due to the humankind activities like transportation through aeronautic vehicles or the cars or industrial manufacturing kind of opportunity or thermal plants and so on. So how do we able to reduce these carbon offsets? We have to go and concern with the carbon offsets like go green kind of energy productions, as well as we need to think about the cattle farms, agricultural resources to make it possible. Also the social forest or any kind of greenery environment will compensate together for reducing the carbon effect. This is another study model. The Finnish group, they are vouching for the conditions. How do they able to plan well for their citizens to learn something better? That is the way we must need to think how to formulate the climate change education for the school projects. This is a kind of model for you to follow up. The school as the governance body and the governing bodies, they are executing the kind of school activities. It is mitigating through the kind of engagement for the teaching as well as learning curricular pattern or extracurricular pattern that is going to add on the value for the children to develop certain kind of knowledge or skill sets and attitude level. We must need to engage the community partnership. As already I mentioned, different stakeholders may be coming from industry side or social enterprise side or any kind of NGO or NGO kind of groups who are doing the great things for the social concern. And we must need to provide the enough facilities for creating the operational experience for the people who wanted to learn some kind of simulated environment, some kind of experiential learning the environment, or some kind of reality oriented kind of environment. So that is the way the school culture can sustainable for the climatic actions plan. The whole school can approach for the climate change. That is the way we can produce a lot of students who can able to do the wonderful things when they are coming into the workforce in future. We must need to plan for the extracurricular add-on value kind of educational activities at schools. It is not only taking them to out for the kind of environment. You can make the study tour or educational tour or making them to trip for overseas. Because in Singapore there is no big agricultural farms or any kind of natural forest which are having some kind of tiger reserve or any kind of elephant kind of animals living in the forest. So these people, they are looking for the opportunity to engage certain kind of outdoor activities, to go to overseas, to see certain kind of natural environment. How do they able to embrace the kind of experience? How do they can able to connect to the nature? Also, we can conduct certain kind of competitions for them, exhibition competitions and other activities. So that is the way we can able to nurture the mindset of the people to align with the climatic action plans. Another way, how do we engage the children for the climate change? There are a lot of activities we can engage, activities we can plan for the project-oriented kind of systems. That is the way we can able to use the students who can able to take the climate change expeditions, or they can able to do certain kind of analysis or reports or reviews, or collecting certain kind of survey, conducting certain kind of surveys which are going to give some kind of result oriented action. That is the way the students are getting engaged with the different kind of climate change projects. So it is the time for us to think about how do we able to save our planet. That is the plan we must need to endorse as of now. We need to reduce the fossil fuel exploitation from the earth, and also it is producing a lot of pollution and the climatic factors to change. And it is the time for us to act properly. We have to think for the go green kind of movement. That is the way only we can able to change certain kind of values in future. That is the condition to live better and live better. We must need to act now for the climate action. We need to create a lot of superhero kind of people who are vouching for the kind of environment where we want to live peacefully, and better kind of opportunities to create for each and everyone in the earth, another earth. So that is the only concern. I wish to thank for all your patience. Just little bit, I want to go with my company. What we are doing is International Private Limited is vouching for the business excellence kind of activities. We are providing various kind of support for the companies who wanted to get license or some kind of consultation or auditing. We are supporting for the transformational requirements for digital transformations, as well as we are supporting for the research, experimentation, design and development, innovation kind of product development, providing certain kind of funding for those kind of projects. We are closely working together with the startup firms and SME sectors where they wanted to uplift for the next level. ACE International also committing to provide the consultation for capability development, especially for the leadership quality, strategies, formulations, and we are enabling the people who wanted to learn something better, applied learning program for the school children and high learning people. We can conduct applied learning program for them. Global immersion program that is also making them to go global kind of mindset. Cross-cultural learning, as of now, everywhere the cultural deviations are very high. So we must need to get aligned together for learning better from each other's cultural values. And we are providing some kind of industrial values, institute industry formulations, where we can able to engage some kind of experiential learning activities through on-job training, internship project training, and so on. Thank you for your patience to listen to me today. I hope this lecture is giving certain kind of value addition for your understanding about the climate change and how to make your action plan for that. Thank you so much. Over to the moderator.
We are grateful for the time and efforts you took to share your thoughts and experience with us, Dr. Ramanathan, and certainly together we shall try to create more heroes. Thank you for your insight in, suggesting us how we could encourage the children to come forward in contributing their part. I believe we can immensely benefit from the methods you suggested for better living. We certainly look forward for a lot of insight and learning from you in coming days. We will definitely get in touch with you, Dr. Ramanathan. Ever so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We have a few people who are continuously interrupting in between, requesting us for Hindi or Haranvi language. I'm so sorry, we cannot do this right away because we are now prepared only for English session. We will definitely have one for you in Hindi in coming days. So please excuse us this time. Now moving forward to our second speaker, Dr. Surendra Das. We welcome you. Dr. Surendra Das is an educationist, pranic symbologist, wellness guide, and holistic development coach, an entrepreneur, author, and poet. He is in the field of education for more than 4 decades and has worked as principal for more than 28 years in some of the reputed schools in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Uttar Pradesh. He has also worked as director of Swami Vivekananda International School, Wardha, 7i World School, Gwalior, and director quality assurance of an education foundation in Kanpur. Presently, he is the director of EduVrata LLP. He is the chief mentor of the Global Wellness Forum, which has members from more than 30 countries, and founder president of the Indian Forum of Educators. He is the founder of new discipline called Pranic Symbology, the only pranic symbologist in the world. He has received several awards, which include the Eminent Educationist Award, Arc of Excellence Award, Outstanding Humanitarian Service Award, Pioneer of Wellness Education Award, and Influencer Award of 2021. So over to you, Dr. Das. Dr. Das, I hope I am audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
A very good evening to one and all who are joining this wonderful webinar. And before I take up the whole rein in my hand, I would like to thank Dr. Ramanathan, who very extensively covered each and every component of this strategy. Actually, I was supposed to take up the session in the very beginning. So I have to slightly take the things in the reverse gear so that the importance of building climate ready community, which is need of the hour. So in personally, definitely I'll remain connected with Dr. Ramanathan because we share some very common thing. So professionally, we'll have a dialogue separately. Now, I will slightly highlight what exactly has happened in the year 2021 and how the environment, when we talk about the earth, the mother planet, we have been talking about the environment, protecting Mother Earth and so many things for, I think, more than 2 decades. And several activities by the educational institutions, by the intellectuals, by the government, as beautifully Dr. Ramanathan has highlighted, the initiative taken by the government of Singapore and many, many other developed countries. Now, what I feel as far as the Indian context is concerned, that we have to sensitize people to that extent that if they have to give priority to anything, it has to be the climate change. And as a result of that, when people consider it that this is the top priority because it is directly connected to with their survival, with the future generation, with the sustainable development, then only some collective output will be visible in terms of the transformation, in terms of the positive changes, which we definitely need it. And as far as the direction is concerned, definitely will take the strategic directions from Dr. Ramanathan and many other resources which are available today. Now, I'll just like to draw the attention of one and all what exactly is some of the things which people must have watched on television, must have read in the newspaper. The 2021, the current year, has seen the worst effects of the climate change. Now, we have seen what exactly happened, the deadly flooding in Germany, in Belgium, and not only Germany and Belgium, Netherlands, Switzerland, Spain, and some parts of United States of America. China was very much in the news, Indonesia, Colombia, Sri Lanka, and more importantly, India. I think we have seen in 2021, these all areas have been affected by the worst floods. Now, when we talk in terms of India, if we talk about the major state, whether it is Kerala, it is Tamil Nadu, it is Uttar Pradesh, it is Uttarakhand, it is Gujarat, it is Bihar, it is Uttar Pradesh. More or less, if we talk about the major big states have been under the spell of the heavy rains, and also large area of these states were actually flooded. This is one scenario. The second scenario, which is related to the adverse effect of the climate change, is the heat waves. The Canada was in the news, the United States of America, because the high temperature, and that too, when we talk in terms of India, the 42 degrees Celsius, 45 degrees, nothing to be bothered much. But when we talk about very, very cold climate countries like US, Canada, Russia, and a large part of Europe, there we have seen the temperature has gone not only to 45 degrees, but 47 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. So this is something, I think this is an alarming bell. This is a warning bell for the entire community on this planet to think that what exactly has not happened earlier, it is happening now. Now, we have also seen that how long the Australia was in the news for the forest fire. People are talked a lot about Australia, but then they have ignored Russia. Russia has the worst forest fire, 1,770 square kilometer area was affected. Then we have the other countries, Turkey, Greece, Italy, Lebanon, California in America, and very few people know what exactly has happened in India, because we are concentrating on Australia and California and Russia and so on. For your kind information, I like to make a mention, 82,170 fire alerts were received alone in this 2021. And from where the alerts came? They came from Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Manipur, and Nagaland. So these three things which I have talked about, the first which I talked about, the forest fire, the flooding area, and what exactly the high temperature which is rising. I think now we have to take up the responsibility in our hand to ring the warning bell everywhere. We have to awaken the community in which we are living. Now, all these adverse effects which we are finding is just because of the average warming up of 1.1 degrees Celsius, which is going to increase after a decade, and that is the 7 to 10 years time, it will be 1.5 degrees Celsius rise. And all these calamities which we are talking about, and we call them natural disaster, they are actually not natural, they are man-made disaster. I think you will agree with me. 80 to 90% actually are in human-induced disasters are there. We are responsible, everybody is responsible, societies, the nations, the generation, everybody. Now, as for the IPCC, I think everybody is knowing about that, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. According to their report and their findings, they say that when we are going to reach the average warming up 1.1 to 1.5, what is going to happen? And whatever the climate changes observations have been made by this IPCC, they say that this is something which is unprecedented in 1,000 years, not in 100 years or 200, in 1,000 years. So what is happening into the recent, I'm talking about, let us see what has actually happened in the country for past 7 years. And 2021, I think, is we have reached the peak. We have reached the peak. So the future prediction as per the IPCC is that there is going to be more floods. There are going to be intensive storms. There are going to be more droughts. There are going to be more forest fires. There are going to be more melting of the glaciers. And ultimately, the sea level is going to rise. I think this is the high time that we must have in our hand a warning bell. Wherever we go, whomsoever we talk about, unless and until this kind of a mental, emotional alert is there, people are not going to make any significant contribution as far as building the societies for the climate readiness is concerned. So here, what exactly has been detailed by Dr. Ramanathan, I will just talk about the few simple steps. The bigger things we can definitely borrow from Dr. Ramanathan, and small things which I like to point it out. The first thing is this, that we have to create a scenario. We are not going to frighten people. We are not going to scare people. But as far as the fact sheet is concerned, that fact sheet is to be made aware. Now, when we are talking about the educational institutions, everybody knows there is a corporate social responsibility. I have slightly made a change here. I have made it a school social responsibility and citizenship social responsibility. The school social responsibility and citizenship social responsibility. And how this can be taken into the action? The first thing is this, the first primary thing that we should have a community dialogue. We need to have a dialogue with the community, the society in which we live. And a program which I'm going to highlight that is exactly meant for the schools. Now, Belgium has got one beautiful society. They call it Time for Society. Would you please?
Sorry, I request everyone to please mute yourself.
So I was talking about the Belgium society, Time for Society. What they say, they are not asking donation, they're asking 1 hour per week. And this society executive committee visited India on my invitation a few years before. There were 25 people, those who had come over and discussed the thing. In a similar kind of a model, which I have prepared for the school, is Time for the Nation. I'm not using the word society, I'm talking about the Time for the Nation. So every country students, especially I'm focusing here in India. Now we know that every school and colleges have got the student leaders. So a group of 40 to 50 students group can be made, a group can be created, which can be headed by some of the senior professor. If it is a college, it is a university, and if it is a school, then definitely some of the teachers can very well be part, they can mentor the group. Now, what will be this group, small group of students will be doing? If suppose there is a particular city in Bihar, for example, Patna, or there is a place in Uttarakhand, or there is a place in Maharashtra, they will have to make a practical assessment to what are the threats and what are the climate change adverse impact the city, the town, the area, the locality is having. A diagnosis of the problem, what is the actual impact of the climate change in that particular town, in that particular city. When the assessment has been done, then they have to think that how this impact can be reduced and how people can be prepared to cope up and adapt to face this change, the adverse impact of the climatic change. They can work it out. They can have a brainstorming. They can prepare a particular kind of a plan. When this is done, definitely the matter doesn't end. This group of students, the young, energetic, dynamic, creative student, should have a dialogue with the district administration. They should have a dialogue with the clubs like Rotary Club, the Lions Club. There are many clubs are there, and they are always there to come forward and join hands for some kind of, because this is connected with everyone. It's not with schools and colleges. So district admission has to be taken into confidence. Some clubs have to be taken into confidence. So they are linking. This school or college unit is linking with the district authority, is also linking with the clubs. Now this is a team is now built up. The team is now built up. Assessment is already done. Now comes the action plan, which is to be, what will be the first action, the second action, and third action. Now everything is localized now. Suppose this area may not be having flood, but may be suffering from drought, maybe having the very high temperature. There may be some district and area where every year, for example, Assam and Bihar, we say those districts are always under floods. I'm not criticizing government and other kind of people. So they have to find it out whether we are facing floods every year, we are facing the high temperature, drought situation is there, or if it is a forest area, or this particular area has been affected by the forest fire, isn't it? So all these things have to be diagnosed, analyzed, and the proper specific action plan should be taken up. As I said, the detailed guidelines we can definitely borrow from Dr. Ramanathan. He is an expert in this field, and from very other sources. Now, so there is let us say there are 10 schools in a city. Now in Indian Forum of Educators, we have more than 1,000 members, and I think 400 to 500. So we will be definitely carrying, because this today invitation has opened my eyes also. It has also awakened me that I should not only speak here to the people, but I should take up myself an action agenda and how we can implement in the schools and colleges. Unless and until there is a community awareness, unless and until there is a community awakening, I think we cannot reach the desired goal, which is the priority. And one of the things, when we are talking about the co-curricular activities, I will definitely like that this group must start making short films, 3 minutes, 4 minutes short films, to awaken people, to bring awareness in the society. Now, you know, we live in the world digital population is there, digital media, everything. So these small 2 minutes, 3 minutes short films, which have the appeal, the support, the awareness kind of a program, let many more people in that city and town. The moment these 50 people have the 500 and is go to 5,000, then 10,000, slowly and slowly, they must start campaigns. Whether it is about the afforestation, if suppose the Yamuna river is flowing and then it is polluted, what can be done? Because we have seen it also, it is not only the air pollution. It is not the water pollution or the noise pollution or the light pollution. There are several other pollutions are there about which the people are not knowing. So anything which is related to our life, when we are talking about that, what kind of a world we are going to hand over to the coming generation, for that having a concern where every school, every firm, every industry in the town and city must have something to do with the climate change and joining hands together so that the entire city, entire town become the climate ready. The climate readiness should be there. This will come slowly and gradually, but I am sure that together we can make a lot of difference and we can leave this world a better world for the coming generation. I hope some inputs which I have given will be beneficial for the people, And main thing is that action plan should be there, action agenda should be there, and we must implement not only one or two, but as many as people we can take together. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Das. That was really nice. Many thanks to you for addressing our group with your thought-provoking factuals and solutions as well. You have cautioned us enough with the adverse effect of our irresponsibility. That is school social responsibility and citizenship, school social responsibility. These are two things which really struck us, and we promise that together we all can take up some action in our little own ways, whatever we can. So thank you once again. With this, we move to our third speaker, that is Ms. Muthusweta. She is currently pursuing Bachelor's of Computer Science, majoring in Digital System Security, and she is an aspiring software engineer, data scientist. Apart from her academics, she has taken part in various essay writing competitions, poetry reciting, debates in her mother tongue language, Tamil as well. Recently, she has had the opportunity to venture into the role of an MC, which has allowed her to enhance her skills in the area of MCing a wide range of Tamil language event based in Singapore. She upholds strong leadership public speaking ability with a knack of enlightening and illuminating presentation. She proudly considers this platform as a golden opportunity in allowing her to contribute her part in creating the awareness on the importance of recognizing climate change implications in everything we do, as well as constructive and productive mitigation strategies we can implement in the near future together as one in saving our environment. So over to you, dear Sweta.
Thank you, ma'am. Everyone can hear me?
Yes, we are able to hear you.
A very good evening to one and all gathered with us here through Zoom this evening. Happy World Science Day for Peace and Development to everyone. I would like to commence my speech by sincerely thanking Dr. Ram for providing me with this valuable opportunity. It is my utmost pleasure to be part of this event today. I would like to get into my speech by alerting all of you here that we're at a turning point. The choices that the world and the humans we take now will determine how livable the planet is going to be. We know what climate change looks like in 2021 because this summer was the hottest on record. Hundreds died in unprecedented heat in the Pacific Northwest. And there were widespread power outages in the Middle East. Basements in New York City and subways in China, people were trapped by floods. Massive wildfires burned in Canada, Siberia, and Greece. In Madagascar, after 4 years without rain, the country is facing the first famine caused entirely by climate change. The planet has heated up so far a little more than 1 degree Celsius. By the end of the century, we may have managed to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. But if we are slower to act, the average temperature may have soared up to 2 to 3 degrees Celsius or more. Differences might sound small, but in reality will shape very different futures. I would like to bring all of you here into a quick imagination journey with me. Imagine a planet at 3 degrees Celsius. Imagine a 3 degrees Celsius world. Let's take the case of Australia, where catastrophic wildfires fueled by ongoing drought and heat burned an area larger than the state of Florida in late 2019 and early 2020, blanketing cities in smoke and killing or displacing 3 billion animals. Heat will impact our daily lives and the larger systems. In the ocean, coral reefs will likely disappear. Because of heat, drought, and the increasing number of pests, it will be harder to grow food, and yields of key crops could fall between 5% and 50%. The rest of the world will also face similar challenges. However, the set of problems varying in each location. In low-lying Bangladesh, as sea levels and millions of people will be likely forced to relocate. Large swaths of major cities will flood, from Shanghai, where 17.5 million people may be displaced, to Alexandria, Egypt, to Miami. Globally, hundreds of millions of people may have to relocate. In some tropical countries, the combined levels of heat and humidity may grow so high during heat waves that it surpasses the limit of what human bodies can survive. In India, this type of extreme heat stress may happen even at lower levels of climate change. Droughts that are currently considered once in a century event could happen every 2 to 5 years in much of the world, including parts of the US. And as farms struggle with droughts, heat, and sometimes extreme rain, food prices will rise. The Amazon forest may not survive. Antarctic ice sheets will melt faster, pushing sea levels higher. Scary, isn't it? However, this is the undeniable fact. As emissions keep growing, things can get much, much worse. If you've read any recent reports or predictions about the future of our climate, you've probably recognized and realized that the mankind is running out of time to find a solution for the global threat of climate change. Okay, so now you may think to yourself, or you may want to ask me, so Sweta, what can we do next? Is it too late already, or can we still do something about it? What kind of future will there be for my kids? What will they do about climate change? Do they know what it is and what it implies? The answer is, solving any problem takes time. It took scientists about 40 years to gain understanding of the problem. And I think that's fair, because humans had to first study that climate change existed, then study the causes of climate change to see the role humans have played. And the problem with climate change now is that time is not on our side. Mankind has to find and implement solutions relatively fast. And this is where and why tackling the climate crisis must begin with education. Benjamin Franklin once wrote, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." Today's children are the citizens and consumers of tomorrow. As such, education plays a vital role in combating climate change, and is also the key to understanding how the human-made climate crisis is affecting the planet. At the September 2019 UN Climate Action Summit, Greta Thunberg said in a speech, "The eyes of all future generations are upon you. The world is waking up and change is coming." Studying our ecosystem, their systematic nature, and the connections between human and non-human life are important to care, preserve, restore, and reverse damages human development is causing on Earth. Educating our youths and adults on issues related to the climate crisis, pollution of water and land will encourage individuals and communities to change attitudes and behaviors, and also allows them to make informed decisions. Education empowers all people, but especially motivates the young to take action. Knowing the facts eliminates the fear of an issue. Now, you may wonder how to educate our young minds about the scariest problem that the mankind is facing right now. Firstly, stimulating the students' young minds' interest about the natural world and their concern for the health of the planet through appropriate teaching programs. In Italy, there are numerous climate change related activities that are being carried out in schools. For example, activities in nature relating to caring for the environment, such as cleanup operations, visiting farms, nurseries to learn firsthand how to look after animals and plants, courses and workshops on recycling. Apart from that, there are also many technological resources available, such as NASA's Climate Kits, which is a website designed to bring climate science to life for kids with fun games, interactive features, and existing articles. Another platform would be NOAA. It's a teaching climate platform which offers teachers educational resources relating to climate and energy, responsible consumption, energy, and mobility that they can put into practice with children in the classroom. Next, I would like to touch up on the 3 R's. Environmental education can incorporate the 3 R's, which are reclamation, resilience, and regeneration. So environmental education for reclamation occurs when students become involved in preservation, conservation, and the establishment of sanctuaries of exemplary systems, including like small urban parks or gardens. Then environmental education for socio-ecological resilience focuses on building adaptive capacity, including through creating social networks to support collaboration and learning, which are in turn applied to an ongoing process of collaborative and adaptive management, which is so-called learning by experience. Then similar to environmental education for resilience, we have the environmental education for regeneration, which incorporates an emphasis on feedback process and nurtures participants in stewardship activities. But however, this adds a focus on learning through creating entirely new systems, like for example, algal energy production, and on reflecting on how new types of complex systems operate. Then apart from this, we can build schools that reflect environmental principles, whereby teachers and the whole student body can set an example and use energy efficiently. For example, using energy from renewable resources. They must also promote efficient use of water and offer opportunities for the students to interact with the environment around them. Next up, I would like to focus on the measures adopted by Singapore. Following calls to strengthen climate change education in Singapore, the Ministry of Education, Singapore, said in a statement in response to Channel News Asia, which is a news based in Singapore, that by embedding climate change issues in the school curriculum and activities, it hopes to equip students with a fundamental scientific understanding of the issue, enabling them to engage in constructive discussions and make informed choices about their actions. So climate change education in Singapore seeks to help learners develop knowledge, skills, values, and action to engage with and learn about the causes, impact, and management of climate change. According to the Straits Times, which is an article, English language daily broadcast news sheet based in Singapore, published on the October 23rd of 2020, more than 8 in 10 students, local students in Singapore, said they feel confident explaining issues related to global climate change. These include, for instance, the impact of carbon dioxide emission and why some countries suffer from climate change more than the others. As well as in Singapore, on the 29th August 2013, the National Climate Change Secretariat, NCCS, launched a new educational drama titled Stop Melting My Home, which is based on climate change for primary school as part of its outreach effort to raise awareness and encourage individual actions on climate change among youths in Singapore. So these are all a few of the numerous ways in which Singapore is allowing upcoming generation to be effectively engaged and enhance their interest on the topic climate change. Now I would like to move on to a personal level. So on a personal level, since the day I felt the warmth of Mother Nature and her beauty, I always felt that there's a parallel in human lives and nature. For instance, the falling and ebbing of sea waves can be taken as an example. The falling suggests the ups and downs in lives. The flower and thorns in a rose suggest that life has both pleasure and pain. My parents are actually avid nature lovers, and anything related to nature is our go-to family outing destination. Nature is like one of the many things that we as a family interconnect with. So by doing so, all this while since young, I developed a love for the outdoors, but I also managed to discover an emotional connection with nature and the environmental issues, which I will be highlighting in my speech next. Now I would like to highlight my exposure to climate change during my schooling days in Singapore. In primary school, I was exposed to pollution and deforestation during my science lessons. My first ever science project was on the sprouting bean experiment, where I realized that our Earth is very unique as it has conditions needed to support life, which I think all of us know: air, water, and sunlight. Earth's atmosphere has CO2 gas, which plants rely on for photosynthesis. The water cycle provides fresh water for plants via rainfalls, lakes, and groundwater. The planet's approximate distance from the sun provides comfortable temperature for plants to thrive in as well. So this simple experiment, right, has taught me such a deep learning lesson, which I've been carrying along with me since then, remembering how our Earth is unique compared to the moon and the Mars, and why we should not take it for granted. Following in my secondary school, my knowledge deepened into learning about carbon cycles and greenhouse gases during my science lessons, as well as the need for urgent action to mitigate its effects during geography lessons. Now I'd like to move on to the most interesting part, which is in my tertiary studies, we students, a group of students, devised and implemented sustainable fashion as a startup business idea for one of our core modules. So the startup was named as Biosistas, where our business pitch was on promoting environmentally friendly fashion. Okay, this was our startup website. The business pitch was through outsourcing clothing materials from living bacteria, algae, and yeast, which breaks down into non-toxic substances without harming the environment. An example of such would be algae-based fabrics, as well as utilized materials such as organic cotton, hemp, or recycled polyester that will degrade easily in the manufacturing of clothing and textiles. So as a result of this startup idea that we planned and introduced, our idea was selected to be one of the startup ideas presented at the Idea Challenge 2020. So all this knowledge that was parted into me since my schooling days has certainly now evolved into actions, I believe, whereby now as a member of my community's youth club member, together with the other youths, we often engage in campaigns and organize events for our neighborhood to raise awareness, as well as we young people aspire to step forward and be the catalyst for change in our community. We youths believed and proved that we walk the talk. The changing weather and season paints the sky. The 5 elements in nature which operates the world. A rainbow in the sky leaps up human's heart. Powerful ocean and its waves impresses human. Mighty trees and vast forests inspire the feelings of human beings. And along with that, the birds and the birds chirping and wildlife makes the world alive and dazzling with beauty and charm. Waterfall, which pour from the top of the mountain, is an awesome and amazing sight. Silver moon and golden cluster of stars shine so bright in night, which lights the dark sky. The blue sky offers sunrise, which opens the bright day, and gives sunset in the evening, which welcomes the beautiful moon and its kids, which are the stars. The heaven provides rain to the world, which feeds the earth and makes the land fertile. Blossoming flowers decorate the world with its wings of colors. In short, everything in nature gives men a feeling of positive hope. The faster and smarter we can become with the use of education and learning to our upcoming generation in generating a generation with passion for the environment and the planet, the higher our probability of success on at least to slow down the damage caused by climate change. Over the last 200 years, humans have comprehensively demonstrated that they can change the climate and we have changed it for the worse by doing the wrong things. Now, let's change by doing the right things. Everyone gathered here today, tonight, let us pledge to manifest that the time is not on our side and we need to step forward in making a little difference every day. Not anything revolutionary, but with the mindset that I am doing what I think is right and I am doing what I believe in, so there shouldn't be anyone stopping me. It's time to pay back our motherland for serving us, tolerating us, and fulfilling our desires. It's time to serve our mother a better endowment. It's time we tell our kids the truth and teach them the facts. It's time we build the upcoming generation for the future that we have failed to build for them. Thank you, everyone.
Ms. Sweta, please accept our sincere appreciation for the outstanding presentation you made. Reclaim resilience and regeneration. Yes, we as educators need to emphasize more on our students. Thank you for that. Together, let's make a difference in our own little ways. Your emotional connection with nature is so much visible. At this young age, having clear goals speaks volume of your understanding the current problem and the heart to ensure a solution for the same. Thank you again. Indeed, it was interesting to hear about your thoughts and ideas. I'm sure the audiences are all wowed listening to your ideas. Wish we had a little more time so that we could brainstorm a little more. Nevertheless, our scale of education and Finis Full Mastery groups are open for educators, parents, and students across the globe to join us to create a better tomorrow. So, to sum up the evening, science has the power to take this world to a new level. We all have understood that we can use science for moving ahead in life and also for bringing peace in the world. The occasion of World Science Day for Peace and Development reminds all of us that science is all about development and growth. Science is not just about inventions, but it is also about touching lives in many ways, which Sweta so nicely showed it to us. World Science Day for Peace and Development tells us that science is that magical wand that can make everything and anything possible. As a citizen of a country, we must always be aware of the developments of our country, what it is undergoing in the field of science. Science has many facets, and it is up to us that we use it to bring development, peace, and growth into our lives. Let us grow with science and make this world a better place to live. I thank you all for truly memorable evening. I sign off with what Louis Pasteur once said: science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illuminates the world. Thank you, everyone. You all were wonderful audiences. Have a beautiful weekend. Now I request Ms. Ashoka if she would like to address the audiences, please. Ms. Ashoka Bira, you there? Thank you. Would anybody like to speak something? Would like to thank the speakers? Yes, Ms. Ashoka is here.
She's in mute. You can unmute and speak.
Ashoka ma'am, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, excellent evening today. Thank you all for joining. And in the beginning, we had trouble with the network. So I'm very sorry about it. So I think it was a 10 minutes delay, but we covered it up and we are here now successfully completing today's session. Dr. Das has told a very good information about how we can share, do the workshops in schools on climate change. It's very useful, and most of the educators that I know, I think I'll share this. And the those who are present, if you are in education field, I think it was useful for you. And Dr. Ramanathan, your knowledge sharing was very good about the climate change. And thank you for updating us about lots of information on the climate change and what the world over is happening about it, how they are tackling it. And today's evening star is Miss Muthusweta. She's the baby, walked us through so many baby steps, I think, for us. And yes, it's very good. And that we could listen to a student here speaking to us, and us who are been doing sessions for so long. And it is really inspiring that how we could do lots of research on any topic to bring the knowledge to everybody's to their laptops or their sessions. So thanks a lot for having a wonderful evening today. We could spend whatever time we spent here is not going to go waste. It is enriching, and it is going to change our perceptions from now onwards about the world that we are living in. So thanks to everyone, and over to Ms. Frieza to conclude.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Das. Thank you, Dr. Ramanathan. Thank you, Sweta. And to all the audiences, thank you so much. Wish you all a beautiful weekend.
Thank you, Ms. Teresa Rodriguez and Dr. Surendra Das. A little bit confusion. He could come first, but because of the technical glitch, I could be able to take the chance. But anyhow, all the three speakers have conveyed certain valuable points today as of the World Science Day. We must need to focus, and we need to act upon with the kind of challenges, how to mitigate the right control measures, which are pointed out by the world, the forum, as well as the government, who are willing to support for to nurture us very beautiful with the human kind of conditions. I would like to appeal for the group, if you are willing to tie up for any kind of action-oriented plan, we are here to help you. My company is always looking for the opportunity, because ACE is definition is Aspire Community Excellence. So one of the climate action community, if you want to build, I am always here to help you to support for the enablement and engagement as well as exploration. Thank you. Muthusweta did the good job as assigned to her. Any words you want to share with the audience here?
Thank you everyone for providing the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Ram. It was a very insightful session. Dr. Ram's inputs were very valuable, as well as Dr. I think, yeah, his as well. Everything was very insightful, and I think I have a lot of takeaway from this event. So thank you everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the people. If you conduct any future event and all, please let me contact through Madam Ashoka Budha. So she will help me to connect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She's a wonderful person, making her efforts to communicate and educate the people, especially for the young children. So it is the time for us to come together and hands-on ourselves to support.
Certainly. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
So you can stop the recording.